Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, you will learn how to solve quadratic equation by completing the square. So without much ado, let's have example number 1. Let's have the first example. Let's have x squared minus 2x minus 8 equals 0. Alright, so we're going to solve for the values of x using the completing the square. Alright, so let's try to copy the given. So we have x squared minus 2x minus 8 equals 0. Now, the first thing that you need to do is to transpose this constant to the right side of the equation. So this will give us x squared minus 2x equals 8. Alright? Now, the next thing that you need to do is to consider the numerical coefficient of this term. Right? So the numerical coefficient of the term is 2 times 1/2. We multiply it by 1/2. Okay? And that will give us 1. Okay? So this will be cancelled out. So that will give us 1. And then you square 1. That will give you again 1. And so the next thing that you need to do here is to add both sides of the equation by 1. So to do that, this will give you x squared minus 2x plus 1 equals 8 plus 1. Alright, and if you notice, this one is a perfect square trinomial. And so we can write that as x minus 1 equals 9. And we can rewrite this further as x minus 1 squared equals 9. Alright, now we're going to extract the roots so that we can solve for the values of x. Also, we can solve for x. So to do that, we will have the square root of x minus 1 squared. And we will have here also square root of 9. Okay, so simplifying this further, this will give us x minus 1. The square root of x minus 1 squared is x minus 1. And the square root of 9 is plus and minus 3. So simplifying, we will have x equals, transposing this constant to the right side of the equation, that will give us positive 1 plus and minus 3. So there are two values here. The first one, or let's have it as x sub 1, okay, is 1 plus 3, which is 4. And we have the second value of x, okay, let's say that's our x sub 2, is simply 1 minus 3. That will give us negative 2. So the two values of x are 4 and negative 2. Alright, now we would know that our answers are correct by checking. So let's try to check. So check. Okay, so we're going to substitute these values to our quadratic equation. So let's have here x squared minus 2x minus 8 equals 0. So if x is equal to 4, this will give us 4 squared minus 2 times 4 minus 8 equals 0. And so 4 squared is 16 minus 8 equals 0. 16 minus 8 is 8 minus 8 is 0. So this will give us 0 equals 0. Okay? Okay. So let's have here. Alright. Now let's have, let's check if x is equal to negative 2. So to do that, we will have negative 2 squared. Alright. And then we have minus 2 times negative 2 minus 8 equals 0. Alright, so this will give us 4, and negative times negative is positive, minus 8 equals 0. And 4 plus 4 is 8. Okay, let's put a question mark here. 8 minus 8 equals 0. Okay, and 8 minus 8 is 0 equals 0. And so therefore our answers are correct. Let's have another one. let's have x squared plus 7x minus 18 equals 0. Alright, so the same thing that we will do here. So the first thing that you need to do is to transpose this constant to the right side of the equation. So let's copy the given. X squared plus 7x minus 18 equals 0. And so this will give us x squared plus 7x equals 18. Alright, the next thing that we need to consider is this term, the numerical coefficient of this term. And in this case, the numerical coefficient is simply 7. Then you multiply it by 1/2. That will give you 7 over 2. Okay, then you square the product, so 7 over 2 squared, that will give you 49 over 4. Alright, and so we're going to add this result to both sides of the equation. So this will give us x squared plus 7x plus 49 over 4 equals 18 plus 49 over 4. Alright, now if you notice, this one is a perfect square trinomial. Okay, we can rewrite that as, okay, x plus 7 over 2 x plus 7 over 2. Alright, equals, now the least common denominator here is 4, and 4 times 18, that will give you 72. So 72 plus 49. Alright, and so we can now rewrite this as x plus 7 over 2 squared equals, adding 72 plus 49, that will give you 121 over 4. Alright, now we're going to simplify this further, and that is by extracting the roots. So we simply extract the roots, okay, and so this will give us x plus 7 over 2 equals, plus and minus, the square root of 121 is 11, and the square root of 4 is 2. And simplifying this further, that will give us 7 over 2 plus and minus 11 over 2. So the first answer here, say that is our x sub 1, that will give us 7 over 2 plus 11 over 2, and that is 18 over 2, simply 9. Alright, and let's have the second answer. Okay, say this is our x sub 2, so this will give us 7 over 2 minus 11 over 2, and that will give us negative 4 over 2 equals negative 2. So the two answers are 9 and negative 2. Alright, so we can also check our answer. Okay, so we have x squared plus 7x plus or minus 18 equals 0. So let's have 9. So x equals 9. So 9 squared, alright, minus 7 times 9 minus 18 equals 0. And 9 squared is simply 81, right? Minus 63 minus 18 equals 0. Alright, so 81 minus 63 minus 18 that will give you 0 equals 0. And so 9 as an answer is correct. So I'm going to leave to you for you to check whether x equals -2 is also a correct answer for this equation. Let's have the last example. Let's have 3x squared plus 2x minus 12 equals -7x. Alright, so let's try to copy the given. So we have 3x squared plus 2x minus 12 equals -7x. So the same thing that we will do here, only that we need to transpose this to the left side of the equation, and this -12 or -12 will be transposed to the right side of the equation. So this will give us 3x squared plus 2x plus 7x equals +12. Okay, and simplifying, this will give us 3x squared plus 9x equals 12. Now we need to make the numerical coefficient of x squared equal to 1. So all we have to do is to divide both sides by 3. So 3x squared 3x squared plus 9x divided by 3 equals 12 divided by 3. And so this will give us x squared. Alright, 9 divided by 3 is 3, and 12 divided by 3 is 4. Okay, the next thing that we need to do is to consider this term. Okay, and the numerical coefficient of that term is simply 3. And then you're going to multiply 3 by 1/2. Okay, and that will give you 3 over 2. And then you square 3 over 2. That will give us 9 over 4. And so we're going to add 9 over 4 to the both sides of equation. So this will give us x squared plus 3x plus 9 over 4 plus, or equals rather, equals 4 plus 9 over 4. All right, now we can rewrite this, okay, as x plus 3/2 and x plus 3/2 equals, the least common denominator is 4, and 4 times 4 is 16 plus 9. Okay, and so this will give us x plus 3/2 squared equals 25 over 4. All right, so the next thing that we need to do is to extract the roots. So let's do this. Okay, and so x plus 3/2 squared is simply x plus 3/2 equals plus and minus, the square root of 25 is 5, the square root of 4 is 2. And so we have our x equals -3/2 plus and minus 5 over 2. And so our x sub 1, or the first answer here, is, okay, let's have here, equals -3 over 2 plus 5 over 2, that is simply 2 over 2 equals 1. What about our x sub 2, or second answer? That is simply -3/2 minus 5/2 equals -8 over 2 equals -4. All right, so this is the, or these are the answers. Okay, 1 and -4. Okay, now we can check our answer. So to check, okay, let's use another color. So let's have here 3x squared plus 2x minus 12 equals negative 7x. Okay, and so we have 3 times, okay, we're checking for x equals 1. So 3 times 1, okay, squared plus 2 times 1 minus 12 equals negative 7 times 1. Okay, so this will give us 1 squared is 1 times 3 is 3 plus, okay, 2 times 1 is 2, okay, minus 12 equals negative 7. So let's put a question mark there. Okay, and we have 3 plus 2, 5 minus 12 is negative 7 equals negative 7. Okay, and so our answer is correct. For x equals 1 as an answer, then it is correct. Now again, I'm going to leave to you x equals negative 4 for you to check whether this answer is correct, and that is by substituting this value to this equation.